must have wakened up 20 times thinking there was something in my room.
Must have waken up. I mean, I guess that is grammatically correct, but boy, it doesn't sound right in your mouth, does it? Hello, I am Joel Sharpton, one half of the Articulate Coven. We tend to do videos and podcasts about the works of Anne Rice, but I am watching the original supernatural soap opera, Dark Shadows. As we've discussed on previous episodes, Dark Shadows was a big influence on Anne's work, of course, and it's a big influence on all of, American vampire lore anyway. So I've been excited to get through it. The fact of the matter is, we're still a long way from the vampires, friends. We are, however, at the beginning of season 3. Turns out the seasons are really just about the DVD sets. But we're in episode 71. Thank you to all of the patrons that make these videos possible. You can join right now for $2 or more a month. Gets access to everything we do early and ad-free. ArticulateCoven.com/join. If you're watching things on YouTube, then you've already got a couple of weeks ahead on our Patreon. So go check those out if you were a Dark Shadows fan, or especially if you're an Anne Rice fan. Check out all of our videos. All right, let's get into this thing. Episode 71 of Dark Shadows. Okay, and yet again, they have changed the time at the chime of this damn clock. That's what my clock does. I have a grandfather clock that I got from my grandfather, and that's what it sounds like.
Good morning, Sheriff. You're quite an early bird.
Well, have to be these days to keep up with all that's going on in this town.
Well, when do you expect to know?
I'll stop worrying, Mr. Collins. You'll get the answer soon enough.
Well, I'm not worried. Malloy was our plant manager. It's a matter of interest to me.
I'm sure it is. Well, if I ever get back to this report, we should find out which way we're going to go sometime today. Is that soon enough for you?
Decent cold open. It's not a great one, but it sets the table for where we are in this story. Roger is so obviously guilty. I mean, I honestly don't know if he's guilty of Bill's death. I don't think that he is, because it would be hard for it to write off in the current. Like, I don't know how he'd get away with it, honestly.
Hello, this is Roger Collins. I'd like to speak to the sheriff again. Well, will you tell him that I have some additional... Well, never mind. Forget it.
What are you doing, Raj? This is how you make yourself look guilty, sir.
He's even willing to introduce me to his friends.
Friends? I didn't know he had any.
Yeah, you and me both, Roger. I didn't know he had any friends. Oh, yeah, she means the ghosts. Okay, yeah, he did introduce her to the ghost.
I must have wakened up 20 times thinking there was something in my room.
Must have waken up. I mean, I guess that is grammatically correct, but boy, it doesn't sound right in your mouth, does it?
Morning, Sheriff.
Well, doesn't anybody sleep late in this town?
All right, so there are 4 of our actors for today. We've got the sheriff, we've got Roger, we've got Vicky, and we've got Burke.
Now, you've talked to a lot of people about Bill Malloy's death. How does it look to you?
I empathize so much with the sheriff. First of all, he's a good actor, and we talked about him previously. He's in a bunch of stuff. I know him best from MacGyver. He was the boss in MacGyver. But, like, good God, man, just let the man do his job. Neither one of you are going to be happy when it's all said and done, probably. But definitely not both of you are going to be happy.
I thought you said it might make me sick.
Well, maybe that's exactly what I want to do.
At least Burke can laugh.
Actually, I was thinking about the cannery. You must have an awful lot of extra work now without any manager.
Yeah, he's got dozens more people to tell him it's not his job.
I'm sure that the findings will prove that Bill's death was accidental due to drowning.
I don't think you'll be quite that lucky, Roger.
I was literally about to say, bum, bum, bum. You know what? Listen, here's a little behind the scenes. I almost always cut the music out of these videos because the music will make it popped for copyright faster than anything else, and which means that I can't monetize it on my YouTube channel. It basically means that it doesn't get a lot of traction, fewer people see it, but also means that I can't make any ad revenue on it. However, that one, I think I gotta it's so good, I gotta leave the music in. I started to do it because I thought they were going to continue the scene, and they did. But yeah, like, of course, you come in, the antagonist of your show makes a comment like that to the his nemesis. God, I love soap opera tropes.
Not a vendetta whose sole aim is destruction.
Roger, please don't.
Would you like some more coffee?
No, thank you.
I think we're all wired enough, Raj. Here's our not Maggie at the counter of the restaurant. I love it when they stick in the random extra. Again, it's like, if this was real life, then everyone in this restaurant would have to say hello to that person because there's a new woman in town. But no. We don't have any words for her. It's our Vaseline camera again. I don't know when they switch to color, but whenever they switch to color, supposedly these go away, and the interstitial scenes where they're like walking around town or whatever are done with a single color drawing. I'm going to honestly miss the Vaseline camera. It's crazy to think these were shot on film, but then projected and recorded using the same cameras that the rest of the show was shot, which means theoretically we should have the original film somewhere so we could get better quality if anybody cared. Oh yeah, let's go talk to the police. That's our next excursion.
You do have something to add to the report.
Well, I'm not sure. And
What?
Well, we know that Bill.
Boy, you gotta love that. Like, the audio just dropped out there completely. And so much so that the captions couldn't even keep up with it.
Supposing there was someone who could corroborate that, my alibi, so to speak.
So to speak, Roger, your alibi, so to speak. No, this is your alibi that you were trying to corroborate by forcing Miss Winters into doing it on your false excursion to tour the cannery. My guess is we don't tour the cannery, by the way.
Sorry, but I can't be any more accurate.
No, but it is a help, isn't it?
No.
Yes, anything is a help, Mr. Collins.
I guess we'd better run along now and let the sheriff get back to his work.
God, this guy.
Very much for showing me the cannery.
It's my pleasure.
Just skipped right over the tour, huh? That's by far the best zoom we've got on one of these outside shots. Man, they're really using a lot in this episode.
Colin, would you can't go back there?
why not? Because they threw me out the other night? Look at me, I'm trembling. Come on.
Ugh. Wanna be starting something. I don't know. I think that's a Michael Jackson song.
You know something, Susie? There are two kinds of fools in this world. The ones who know they're making fools of themselves, and the ones who are sure they're not. It's the second kind that make the most trouble for me.
Gave her a name, huh? Susie. No lines, though.
And maybe when the world does crash, I can manage to save a small piece for you to stand on. Say hello to Mrs. Stoddard for me.
Petered out ending there. I thought Burke was going to set up a confrontation for the next episode. Not a bad one, though. Boy, Dana, Sheriff Dana there. Come on, get that report done. Let's figure out what's happening here and what's next. Episode 72 and episode 73 coming up in just a few minutes, wherever you're watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll remind you can get more episodes early and ad-free over at our Patreon, articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you access to everything we do early and ad-free. Thanks for all of our patrons for making this possible. We'll be back soon with the next one.